Pilates stretch. Let's get us nice and tall. Find your most upright position, but without feeling stiff in any way. Oh, can't get my camera angles today. So we want to stand and take a moment to apply all the good bits that we've been learning. So you've got your feet firmly on the ground and head to the ceiling. So you've got two directions, feet down, head up. Just have a feeling around the foot. So you want to have a triangle of balance. Big toe, little toe, heel. And let's feel that your arches in your feet are lifting upwards. So you want to hold the arches up and keep that contraction, let's say for 3 seconds. So feel like the arches are coming up. The exercise is called short foot. So you want to just shorten the foot and pull it in, like you want to drag those toes closer to the heel, just to engage the arch making muscles. Let's do 2 more of this, so your brain starts picking up the messages from your feet as well. 1 more. And then relax, but be aware of those arches lifting. Soften the knees. Now edge your pelvis, you want to be very slightly forwards, not pushing further down to the right than you do to the left, just upright and tall. Nice, easy arch on the lower back, something that makes you feel that this is your natural position. Arms down, shoulders loose. You can just jiggle the arms on the sides so they hang in and dangling. And then you bring your chin into the neck, head up to the ceiling, and you can breathe nice and deep. And you can just think about the pelvis lifting from the back side. So your hips are widening and your sit bones are slightly lifted up, but without arching of the lower back. And easy breathing again. And if there's any tension at the shoulders, just do a little jiggle, easy, arms, shoulders, little noise making there at the chest, and then hold on steady. And just try to notice which areas in your body do need a little help today. Maybe they are a little bit too tight, anything's niggling, or maybe you've got some other issues coming through. And then open up your eyes, bring your chin down and chin up. Easy range, no pain, no overdoing it. Easy down and up. Still keep those knees soft. Hold at the center and then go side to side easy. You would like to keep your shoulders right down so that you don't get involved when your head is moving side to side. And then turn your head easily side to side, so wherever you can go without involving the chest and shoulders. Very long neck, lows and dangling shoulders and arms. Just remind yourself every so often, if you catch yourself feeling a little bit too tense, that you're meant to hang down and relax. And then just the chin in and away. We're going to practice this one lying down when we finally get to the floor, but just be aware of the motion going straight back and a little bit forwards, straight to the back, a little bit forwards, straight to the back, a little bit forwards. And 1 more. Good, and then we want to teach your brain that upright head right on top of the spine is exactly what we want. So 2 fists under the chin, and your chin rests on the fists like it's on a counter, it's just resting there. Soften the knees, keep it just a natural arch in your back, lift the sit bones a little bit up. Good, and then press your chin onto your fists without changing your upright position in the head. And you can even push the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And relax. You want to feel the front of the neck muscles and not that you're overdoing the backside, okay? So try again. tongue to the roof of your mouth, pushing right up, and chin a little bit down. Find where is enough of the pressure just to feel those each side of the throat muscles. And settle your head upright. Don't involve your shoulders. And relax. Little shake. Now head still upright, right? Still on top of the spine. Hand goes on the side of the skull, on the hard bit of the skull, not on the soft bit here at the temple. Goes slightly further side. Shoulders down, chest is up. Your head pushes into the hand, hand into the head, and you don't move. You just create tension, but aim for 20%. So not as hard as you possibly can. You can breathe easy. You will feel some tension on the side of the neck muscles, but not over the top, not going beyond what feels just like an easy contraction. Easy breathing, in and out. Swap the hands over, good. And start maybe from 10%, so barely there, and build up just to the feeling of contracting lightly. So that you shouldn't feel like pain, you shouldn't feel like restriction, you shouldn't feel like it's the pain starting to travel anywhere up your body or down your body. Easy breaths again. Right, change again without moving your head. Just keep on stabilizing from the sides a little bit. Less is more, so make sure you don't overdo it. And there should be absolutely zero pain. Nice one. Change over. Keep that head nice and upright, shoulders are down. We can breathe easy, but still apply that little pressure on the side. Perfect. Shake it and move it. Shoulders and arms. And the last one is the heels of the hands will go on your forehead. This one can produce tension at the back of the neck. If that's the case, you work tiny. 5–10% is enough. Just a little pressure. Shoulders down, bum is back. Little pressure of the forehead into your hands, but never to take it over the limit of just slightly uncomfortable, maybe just feeling the pressure, and that is all. And rest it, shake it, dangle it, move it. Good, and then go again. Hands to the forehead, bum stays back, little pressure, and breathe. And relax, really good. Shoulders like you're swimming in the back crawl. So now let's get the movement going. Up around the back, up around the back, soften those knees. Good, then go back to front, back to front, back to front, back to front. Perfect, bring your hands at the height of the chest. Squash the elbows back, pressure between your shoulder blades and back. Shoulder blades and back. And once you get started, see if you can do a little bit quicker. So what you gain is a bit of strength between your shoulder blades and a stretch on the chest. But make sure you don't move your head, so bring that chin back and easy breaths. Back, 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 back. Good, now arms, one up, one down, one up, one down. Chest is up, head doesn't move side to side. Good, and now let's do it with a pulse. 1, 2, change. 1, 2, change. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Feet to the ground. Head up and lifted. Good. 3, 2, 1. And rest. With a pulse, we stretch a little bit further. So that's your dynamic stretch. Arms out the front. Double pulse diagonal. Double pulse to the front. 1, 2, 1, 2. Open, open, close, close. Open, open, close, close. Open, open. That's it. Open, open, close, close. Keep your head up and lifted. That's good. So we've got 4, 3, 2, and one more. Perfect. Shake it, dangle it. Can you give me a little bit of this? A little bit of a chest jiggling. Oh, very good, Karen. Very good. Oh, nice one, Alicia. You're an expert at that. Walk around the house and look like this. There we go. Easy knees up. Feel that there's a movement of your sit bone going under to allow you to lift the knee. And you want to feel kind of easy at the hips when you do that. Now bring the elbow, you don't need to touch, it can be a pretend touch. Knee and the opposite elbow, nice across. Let's bring the arms higher. That's good. Steady if your balance is not quite there. Now we're going outside. Watch my hips, I want to push the hips a little bit to the side to allow for the knee lift. Good. Easy side to side. There might be side that will work a little bit easier than the other, or won't work at all. So just do it easy. 2 more. 1 more. Let's come back to the hips. So we first kick back. Quick and dynamic kick, like you want to touch your heels to your bottom. Good. Now behind you, arms are wide, opposite fingers with the toes. Maybe you can touch this one. Good. So aiming not to lean down to the side, just that flick behind. Good, then keep your knees together and roll out, out, out. Good. Then out the front, you lift foot, open the knee outside. Four, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Shake it, dangle arms and legs a couple of times on each side. Now we've got a bit of coordination. So you go different hands, same leg. Out the front, back, front, back, front, back. So you need to rotate your hip out and in, out, in, out, in. And once you get a little bit looser, see if you can do it without maybe touching the floor, with that ease of movement in the hip. Might be elusive, but we can always try. 3, 2, and 1 more. Good, shake it. And you should have felt a little bit on the hip and on the hip of the standing leg. So, same leg, different arms. Out the front, to the back. Out the front, to the back. And to the back goes also out. So we opening the knee out, and then we closing it in. Whole foot down, chest up, head up. Push the foot to the ground. Fight for your balance. Maybe add on a little bit of a looseness with the work. Breathe. Looking good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Shake it, move it. Easy hips side to side, that's all we do. Push the hips as much as you can to the side. Now make it figure 8. So forward, side, back, and change. Guide the movement with your hands. Keep your knees soft and go as much as you can. Like really go for those hips. There we go. And now take it back to front. Reverse, reverse, back to front, back to front, back to front. Lovely. We want to get those hips to move super easy for you. Nice. Bring your toes, heels close together. Shake it, move it. Oh, why do I have socks on? Don't worry. Then we want to just move easy. Step in front, step behind. Step in front, step behind. Step in front, step behind. And then bring your hands behind your head, push your head into your fingers. So we get the left leg absolutely stationary and the right leg moves in and around the back, into the front, out to the back. Keep pushing your head into the fingers, open these elbows. You want to see the foot turning in, foot turning out, foot turning in, and the same happens with the hip. And as much as you're moving and working from the dynamic leg, also the static leg is working really hard. 3, push your head back, 2, and 1 more. Lovely, shake it, move it. Let's do the other side. Just get the legs going. So the right, straight forwards, and left goes front, left goes back, to the front, to the back. And you may feel that there's any difference. You will feel it from the start. If there's any restriction, if it's any more looseness. So head into the fingers, open those elbows, easy front and back. Good, roll it in, roll it out, roll it in. Sometimes with repetitions, you may feel like you can move a little bit bigger. But I wouldn't force it. To the front, to the back, to the front. Is your toe turning in? Is your toe turning out? 3, 2, and 1 more. Lovely. Shake it. Move it. Let's get the legs wide. Either use your hands or imagine you are spreading and opening your pelvis wide and you're lifting your sit bones up. Stand up. Even if you just pull on the fabric of the leggings or shorts, your brain still starts getting a little bit more information. So open, lift, spread apart, stand up. And in your imagination, open and broaden at the hips as much as you can. When you stand up, your cheeks come very close together. So they open and spread down, clench and lift you up. Keep your feet on the ground, big toe to toe heel. Good, open and spread as much as you can, stand up. Make sure you've got those big toes down. And if you look down, you've got the arches that are lifted. So you've got 4, 3, last 2, open, 1 more. Good, shake off the legs. Have your block or a book in your hand. That will be just like an object we can focus on. Spread your legs wide, open your toes. Left arm up in the air. Just keep your thumb on one side and fingers on the back. That's it. This hand, we reach down on the inside of the knee and then stand up. Look up, open both knees as wide as you can, stand up. So you want your knees to open and you look up, then you stand up. Open the knees, keep your both feet on the ground, big toe to toe heel. Look up, open the knees, stand up. Look up, open those knees, stand up. Clench cheeks, push the arm to the ceiling. 2 more. And 1 more. Lovely. Shake it off. You should have felt your inner thighs working, your quads working, along the sides, all of it. Other side. Open the legs, spread the toes. We're going on the inside. We're reaching down. Even if you just reach to the knees, enough. Good. Now, can you have the same feeling of your cheeks spreading apart and your hips broadening and then coming back together? Broaden and open wide, come back together. Lift off the backside. That creates much needed rotation to the pelvis. That is going to offload your knees, because then you just work up the hips really nicely. Come on down, open those knees, push the knees out. You've got last 2, shoulders down. And you've got 1 more. And rest. Nice. Bring your legs together. Shake it, dangle, do a little jiggle. Good. Wide legs, toes turn in. Take your arms out. Turn like a clap, open. Turn, clap, open. Turn, open. Shoulders low, head turns as the arm goes. And easy breathing. Don't lift your shoulders so we're not up here. Down on the shoulder. You may mean that you won't touch. You don't need to touch. Push your head back. You need to be steady with your shoulders down. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Arms, shake it. Legs, heels, toes. Couple of times, easy, easy. Now toes will be out. Wide legs. Palms up. This time we reach, we clap, we open. Hips, reach the fingers and clap. Or pretend you're clapping something. Reach, clap. Open the arms. Don't lock your knees. It's always very easy. If you tend to hang on your ligaments and your soft tissues, you will always lock because it's easier for you. It costs you no energy. But that also means that you don't use the muscles and you don't support your joints. So it's really not the most beneficial, especially for stretching. Because you will appear very flexible, but you will be weakening your joints. So on the long run, it's not going to really give you any health benefits. Lovely. 2 more. Hips. Reach and touch. And 1 more time. Hips. Reach and touch. Very good. Shake it. Toes, heels. Nice and easy. Right, let's stand on your block. Quick drink if you need it. So we're going to stand, left leg on top. And you will be in a squat position. So your bottom will be out the back. So set yourself up for a squat. Lift, spread, and stick out. And this is your stable position, hopefully. Now we're going to reach without touching the floor, forwards, bring it back, side, little bit across, and then out there. Behind you to the corner. We go front, and it doesn't have to be a far kind of travel. Behind across, and then we turn and look where you're going. This is a very hard exercise. This should be sat in your glute and your foot, not feeling it as a knee struggle. Push your bottom back, open your pelvis wide. And you can do tiny little reaches, arms anywhere. Think about your foot on the floor, or on the block rather. Your big toe, little toe, heel. And you're really fighting to get the glutes working. Sit back, pull the cheeks apart, because sometimes that's just kicking in. Right stability. Cross behind and then out there. And step down. Oh yes, oh yes. Who could feel the bum? Anything here? Anything on the calf? A little bit more on the bum. Very good. Other side. So do what you can. We don't have 2 equal sides. We're always asymmetrical, really. Big toe, little toe, heel, shorten your foot. So you want to do like a grab and pull up. Like you want to bring your toes closer to the heels. Bum out, spread it, set it, open the pelvis. So I should never see your pubic bone. It should always be far behind because you're lifting your sit bones and I can't see it. It disappears. Far back. Lift the sit bones, open the knee. Let's start with tiny little reach. If you struggle too much, touch your toe down. But if you can, practice sticking your bottom away, widen the hips, and reaching the leg, taking your time. Arms anywhere, whatever helps. Keep on opening on that pelvis. Good. So to me, this is less stable side, so I need to focus 10 times as hard. 10 times as hard. We're all gonna have side that will struggle more. Stick your bottom out. Open that knee And make sure you're overloading the hip and the cheek and not struggling at the knee. Bum out. Widen. Use your big toe, because sometimes we forget about that one and we roll out on the ankle. Steadiness is key. Fight for it. Fight for it. One more time. And turn it. Oh, hello, hello. Are the glutes doing anything? Very good, you're touching the right things. So move the block away. And we're going to have a little shoulder stretch. You don't have to actually hold your hands behind you. You can pretend you're holding them. What we get is hip distance and then left leg forwards. It doesn't have to go very far. Then from this position, we're going to have your right arm up and back, left arm over the top. Bend your knees, stick your bottom out. If I had another pair of hands, I would lift my cheeks first. So spread the hips, open out and lean just a little bit. And then lift up, press your feet to the ground, lift the chest, open the armpit. Bottom back, head forwards, and then chest up, head up, press your feet to the ground, chin is lifted. So if you feel the flexibility is all good for you, maybe you can go a little bit lower, but it's really not that important. It's about moving the hips back and pulling them through to the front. Good shoulder stretch along the way as well. Keep your feet well grounded, chest is up, and one more time, bottom back, and lift up. Nice and relax the arms, give them a little shake front and back, legs adding on. Good, feet hip distance again, right leg forwards, left arm down and behind, right arm up and over. Feel that you're lifting your bum cheeks up and back, sit bones specifically. Press your feet to the ground, lift, reach, just look up. Push your bottom back, bend your knees. If you bend your knees, bend both just as much. Bottom away, lift by sit bones. And lift chest up. Push your feet to the ground there. And keep those feet on the ground, big toe, little toe, heel when you go down. Lift, hold tight, stretch up. Push your bottom back, lift by sit bones. And up we go. And one more time. And lift and stretch. Lovely. Bring your arms down, little shake. We go leg, we go the other side. Lovely. Coming down to the floor. We'll be kneeling to start with. You might need a cushion under the knee to make the pressure on the knees a little bit softer. Sitting back on the heels, reaching forwards from the moment. Walk your hands back. So we're going to do a few mobility / stretch exercises for the hips. As I said, have something soft under the knee if you feel like the hard floor is not agreeing with you. And we want to be on one knee. I just need to lift the screen so you can see me better. So we've done this quite a few times. 290 degrees. Just 290, so we're not going too far forwards. You want to clench your cheek on the side of your down leg. Now push the palm up. You want to be back, sideways, and then rotated. So we're doing 3 ranges of motion. We're going back, side, and face the ceiling. Push the palm as high up as you can. Good. And with the other hand, open your knee out. And you should get this stretch from the armpit to the ribs to the hip. And breathe. Good. Rest the arm. Now, arm comes up and down a few times. We're going up, we're going down. Squash the cheek and just do a comfortable back bend. Just a comfortable one. Not too far. Keep squashing the cheek so you are steady at the hip. Good. Now hands at the back of the head, hips to the side, lean to the other. Push the hips to the side, lean to the other. Hips, and then reach away. Hips, reach away. And then rotate at the hip, and rotate with the arms like you're riding a bike. You're holding the handlebars, and we rotate. The hip moves, so the only steady bit is your knee down on the floor. 2, and 1 more. Now we're going for a bigger stretch. Step that front leg further forward. So you've got the knee on top of the ankle. Right, let me lift it up. So we are quite low. Hands come on the inside of the leg. I'll face you now. So we're going hands on the inside. Can you, I know it feels like a big stretch on the inner thighs as well as the hips. Now if that's quite comfortable, maybe, you know, just a trial, you could put your forearms down. Move away. So you want your forearms down. Not necessary, you can stay there. That would be still fine. And breathe. You should feel like a nice and deep hip stretch as well as the thigh, inner thigh. Both legs are gaining something. Lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Now, you may need to hold on to something for the next bit, or just be nice and steady. Pick up your foot and pull your heel to your bottom. Will that happen, or is that a bit too much to ask? You can always hold on to something, don't you worry. You can hold on to something and just pull that foot into your body. Nearly there, don't get snatchy. So slow and steady. Now, only, and I'm saying it again, only if you feel comfortable, push the hip forwards, because this one will hurt if you do it when your body's not prepared. Steady, 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 chest up, and breathe. If you're losing your breath and you're starting to grunt and make noises, you're working too hard. You should breathe easy, in and out, in and out. And come back. Sit back on the heels and stretch, well done. Right, lift up, let's change the leg. So we had the right one down, so now it's the left one down. I'll just turn around the other way. We're stretching this hip. 290 degrees. You press the palm up. We're leaning back, over the side, and rotate, and at the same time push your knee away. And push, push, push. So I'm almost smelling my armpit, yeah? You smell your armpit, and then you lift your nose up. Press, press. I know, that's the only really good way to describe this stretch. Push up, lean back a bit more, lean back a bit more. You want to dig into the deep layers of your hip flexors. They run very deep. Breathe. And they connect your lower body to your upper body. This is one of the most important muscles we have for movement. And it can get super tight when we sit too much, or if we exercise improperly. And rest. Good. Now, the same arm, just up and down, little reach back. Everything just to feel a happy movement. Nothing that makes you grunt. Squash the cheeks, support your hip a little bit more. Then Then hands behind your head, push your head into the fingers, hips to the side, body leans away, come back. Hips to the side, body leans away, come back. Hips and reach. Hips and reach. Drive the movement through the hips first. 2 more. And 1 more. Now ride your bike. Turn, turn, turn. And go the other way. Shoulders down low, head up high. Nice and steady. Just make things comfortable for the knee. Lovely. Now bring that, I'm going to move back a bit. So bring that front leg much further forward. So we get a full hip opening, knee on top of the ankle, and hands go on the inside of the leg. And we're breathing. So if you feel like you need to round your back to get your hands down because your hips are holding your back, because sometimes some of you look like this. Hips stay back and then you round your spine to reach your hands down. What you want is to push your hips, and in that case, lift your chest. If you're still struggling, put the block under your hands and stay there. Got it? And only if you're very comfortable, we could maybe go with the forearms, but that's like a step for super confident stretches. And then lift it up. Right, the next one is the one for the quad. So bring the top leg a little bit closer. See if you can get hold of the foot. If it's not happening, just let go. Or you can do it when you're lying on your front. Just hold your foot in. Shoulder down, woo! Bring then, once you get settled, bring that front leg further forwards. And then if you are very comfortable, maybe the hip can travel forwards and the foot stays to your bottom. But that might be pushing it a step too far, so never do it like you are unsure. Push the hip forwards a little because it's all coming from your head coming forwards and you want your hip coming forwards. All about the hip flexibility. It's really important for those of you who sit for work to open those hips regularly because they are shortened and then the back is rounded and that causes trouble all over. And rested, lovely. Roll your shoulders, come on down, lie down on your back. We're gonna literally focus on the head and neck, so not a lot going on. Did you feel that one, Nikki? On the hips? Yeah, it's a really good one. Soft cushion behind your head. And all we wanna do is push your head back, so focus on that. Nice and steady on your back. Just so we have some control over the spine and pelvis, one leg bend, one straight. Have your hands under the lower back, because I had a client this week I was doing this exercise with, and she said to me she felt her glutes in this exercise, her lower back, but she never felt the neck, so there was something wrong going on. Brain was using all different muscles other than your neck. You want to feel a little bit of the back of the neck, a little bit on the front, absolutely nothing below the shoulders, or just a mild contraction, that's all. So let's focus on that. You push your head, let's start tiny little pressure first. Feel where you are with this. Are you feeling the neck muscles? The neck muscles can then go a little bit towards the shoulder blades, but not much past. And relax that pressure, just lie down steady. Readjust your pelvis if you need to. You want to have even gap under the lower back, and then try again with your head pushing down. Start with easy pressure. Find the muscles that are supposed to do this work. The actual muscles, not the pretend muscles, not the compensating muscles. And relax. You can move the head side to side, just let it go. Come back to the center and do it again. Head pressing into the cushion, but you only feel the head and neck muscles. Easy breaths. And relax. Change legs over. Still keep the same focus on your lower back, not to overdo it. And if you feel confident, if the work comes exactly from the places we said, push harder. If you're starting to struggle or switch on other muscles than we said, so just the back of the neck, a little bit on the front of the neck, nothing on the shoulders, nothing on the lower back, then that means you're working too hard and you stopped using the muscles we asked. And relax. So try again. In between, especially if you feel like you're working a little bit too much, just roll your neck, or head rather. And then try again. Push your head into the cushion. Breathe, hold it there. And relax. Move your head around. If I'm holding too long for you and you're starting to fatigue quicker, then you obviously cut it short. Next time when you go to bed, maybe try this exercise. Even when you're reading a book, you can do that. So just a little pressure of the head to your pillow, that's all. And another good way to do this exercise is when you're driving and you're pushing your head into the headpiece. Just make sure that headrest is never tilted forwards. It's always just upright. And relax. Lovely. We're going to finish with some nice mobility for the shoulder. We'll be lying on your side. You're going to need something to squash between your knees and the other bit under your head. And when we go in the big circle, make sure you're not hitting anything. So you need enough space to make a big circle around you. So just double check if you've got that space. So we are on a side, block is towards the front of the face. So when you then turn your head, you'll still have block to rest your head on. One arm will be on top of the other. Push your bottom back and make sure you've got one cheek on top of the other, knees one on top of the other as well. And shoulders away from the ears. So you never push the underside of your waist down. Now watch the top arm. It's going to go towards the back, but first by the ear, back, back, back. I'm still squashing my knees together and I'm going as far back, but only to touch my bottom. And I return the same way that we started. To make this exercise the most effective, you need to feel like somebody's pulling this arm away from you. So you couldn't stretch it any further. This bit is the hardest because this is the most stretch you can apply to the shoulder. Once you go past this, things should be easier. If you're starting to grunt, hold your breath or feel pain, you're working too hard. So stretch, elongate, keep those knees together and make sure you are working from the shoulder and not from your SI joints. So we're not rotating the pelvis to get the arm working, right? Do you see how little sense is in this? We want to move the arm and shoulder. There's a tiny bit of spinal rotation, but there should be nothing going on at the pelvis. That's why we're holding the cushion between the knees. So we're keeping control over the pelvis. And it should feel like a massive stretch, this exercise, massive one. Reach, stretch, elongate, pull away from the shoulder socket. Got two more, nice and steady. Feel like you're just gaining a much longer arm, looser shoulder. And then go for a last one. Reach, lift, and stretch, stretch, stretch. And come back. Excellent. Change sides. So you can turn the other way or change sides like I do. So from the setup point of view, you want to have the block towards the front of your face, knees forwards, bum back with a natural arch, so make sure you can run through your arch there. Knees are squashing because your inner thighs, your pelvic floors are going to support your pelvis, and we don't twist there. And then it's a slow and steady movement, but massive. Up, behind, stretch, stretch, stretch as far back as you can until you reach to your bottom. And then you reverse, so we don't complete the circle. We don't do 360. Let's say 270. Reach, 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 and then elongate. And the further back your arm goes, the more you need to feel that the knees are held together. And as per usual, one side might feel completely different than the other. How much further can that arm go? Up and back, up and back, up and back. And feel like somebody's stretching the shoulder away from you. Knees together, give them a good pinch. Right, let's do a couple more. Feel the looseness in the shoulders rather than strain. And we've got one more. Excellent. Lie down on your front. Last exercise for the hips, and it's very hard, so don't get disheartened if it feels like it's barely done. We'll be using very deep laying. We've got 6 very deep muscles that are very close to the bones, and they are covered usually by the big glute, but they actually lay underneath. Those are your hip extensors. And if you can't lift the leg, carry on with the exercise. Just keep on tricking your brain, so one day you may surprise yourself and lift. Lying down on the front, you'll have your legs in the tree pose. So the knees bent, foot touches the inside of the thigh or lower down there. And first of all, we want to relax ourselves to the ground. You can use your fists under the chin, and you don't want to look like this, so we're not sideways. We want to be facing down, and you'll feel quite a deep stretch in the hip with this one as well. Maybe the inner thighs. And just to start with, focus on the breath. Then relax your head down, and with all your goodwill, you want to lift your knee off the floor without rocking back. So you can push the elbows down a little bit and then lift the knee up. Even if it doesn't lift, you're already sending messages from the brain to the muscle. So one day you'll definitely do it. So we're working deep into your cheek. But if you are particularly stiff at your inner thigh attachment, at the hip, you'll feel it there as well. Try one more. And rest it. Not easy. Not easy. Try the other side. So first of all, I'll turn around so you can see the leg. You bend your knee and you just lay there. So wherever you can reach out. Hands, fists under the chin. Relax, breathe into the hip, open the hip. Face down to the ground. And then let's go down flat and see if you can get the leg lifted. So you can slightly push the elbows down, focusing on lifting the knee off the floor. Imagine there's a string there that pulls you up. So some of you might be strong at the hip there, but stiff at the same time. That's why it will be so hard. But sometimes after a few repetitions, you may feel like you can do it a bit better. And rest. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Sit back on the heels. Stretch the arms forwards. And lift up. Has anyone felt this last exercise in the lower back by any chance? You didn't feel it in your lower back, did you? Good, perfect. If you felt it in your lower back, that would mean that for every hip movement, you were over using your lower back. But if you didn't, excellent. Right, we're going to be quite easy on the hips now. So lying on the front, I'll show you from behind. You want to get your legs as wide as you can and just collapse those heels together. That's all you want to do. Open and let them collapse together, those heels, so they meet in the middle. Open, meet in the middle. Open, meet in the middle. So we're only just rotating at the hips, and we've got 4 and close, 3, easy, 2 and 1. Rest. Give it a little shake, give it a little jiggle. Now your feet will be together, knees together for starters, and then you open your feet wide. Close and open and flop them out. Turn this way. So you want to keep your knees together and open their feet apart. Close, knees together, feet apart. Last 2, we're nearly there. And stretch away those legs. You can sit back on the heels, do a last bit of stretch. We want to take the arms under. One away from the other. Reach them apart, stay down. Lift it up, change them over. Your head doesn't need to touch the floor, but what you want to think about is to spread all 5 toes of each hand down on the ground. Sit your bottom back and stay steady without pushing too far onto your shoulders. And lift it up. Brilliant! We all opened up and ready and loose and shaky. Let's do the relaxation. Any position you find comfortable, you might need to grab a drink before we go down. On your front or on your back, whichever one you prefer. And get yourselves comfortable and think about your breathing. You want to get yourselves as comfortable as you can and be aware of those pelvises and hips that we worked. You want to feel loose enough to straighten your legs out of the hip socket. So you feel very long at the hips and legs, and the same applies to the shoulders as well. You feel super long and outstretched from the arms. If you have them under your face, just have the imagination of loosening at the hip and shoulder. If you're thinking about the breathing, slow it down first. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take your time. And start opening the ribs to the sides, a little bit to the back, because your diaphragm travels down when you're breathing in and it lifts up when you're breathing out. Breathing in, relax your pelvic floor muscles, let them stay down. Breathing out, your diaphragm goes up and your pelvic floor muscles draw up a little bit as well. And feel like your hips are starting to unknot. See if they were held tight, especially if you felt some tightness through the stretches. Now with every breath, you just want to relax and let go and untie those tight knots. And think about doing the same at the shoulder level. See if they were knotted, tight to start with. Now we want to unknot, relax, elongate. Keep the joints working at their full range without any problems. Relax the muscles of your neck. Just feel they are running nice and long. You've got muscles at the front of the neck going to the collarbones. You've got the muscles that go from behind the ear down to the top of the shoulders. You've got the big muscle that goes from the back of the skull. Portion of it goes into the shoulder. Part of it goes along the spine into your shoulder blade as well. So think about these muscles in the neck running smoothly. No knots, no tight points, just supporting your neck without overdoing it. And stretch those arms and the legs. Feel like you couldn't get any longer. Couldn't stretch those arms away from the legs any further. And then slowly roll yourselves over to one side. And then gradually lift up. Are we feeling stretched after the Pilates stretch? That would be lovely. Well done.